I know the people in Summerside were not happy with the armory structure being constructed in 1911. They wanted a drill shed and felt they were receiving less than they'd lost in the Great Fire of 1906. A newspaper of the time, the Agriculturalist, upon hearing the news, remarked, "An armory without a drill shed is about as valuable as the play Hamlet with Hamlet left out." But I've learned there are many ways to look at an issue. As the designer of the new armory, I would like to present my thoughts on the subject. I must admit that I was not entirely happy with the situation either when the Department of Militia and Defense insisted on a simplified building, something 30 feet square to be built in small Canadian communities. As a junior architect with the Department of Public Works, I had big ideas for designing militia buildings to be constructed across the country. You see, I was following in the footsteps of my father, Thomas Fuller, who'd helped to design the Parliament buildings in Ottawa. The people in Summerside would be familiar with his work in the design of the post office. So needless to say, I had high standards, but I was able to adapt and work within the guidelines presented to me. And I would like to argue that I kept my high standards even in the scaled-down building. Now, my plans called for a 2-story brick structure to be constructed on a cut stone or concrete foundation with brick walls and decorative stonework, which I felt gave it some architectural interest. The ground floor was designed with a large assembly area, a commanding officer's room, and 3 other rooms, one of which was equipped with cupboards for the storage of arms. The second floor had a large lecture room and 2 storerooms. The basement, with above-ground windows, had washrooms, fuel and furnace rooms, and additional storage space. All in all, it was a practical but attractive building suited to its purpose. Numerous buildings of my design were constructed across Canada between 1908 and 1911. In fact, the people in Summerside were fortunate to receive one of these handsome stone and brick buildings which I had so thoughtfully designed. For when the Department of Militia and Defense took away all responsibility for armory design from the Department of Public Works and transferred it to their own engineer service branch, many communities wound up with the unadorned, basic, functional drill shed produced in 1912. So you see, there are other ways of looking at the issue.